How's it going, everyone? Max Maurice from Evoto Rentals, and in today's video we're going to take a brief walkthrough, a quick look around the Model 3 and see how everything works. Now this video might be a little long, so in the description below I will provide timestamps. So for example, if you want to check out how to use the doors, for example, it might say 2 minutes 54 seconds. So if you have a question about a specific aspect of the car, be sure to check out the link in the description. Alright, to start off, how do you actually even get in the car? Because as you can tell, the key, well, isn't really a key, it's a card. So what you want to do is, on the pillar right here, tap the card right underneath the camera. It'll unlock the car, and then you simply get in the car with these fancy looking door handles. And then to lock the car, same process. All you do is take the key or the card and you just tap it in the same spot where you unlocked it. So you go here, the car will honk a little, mirrors fold, now you know the car's locked. Now you might be saying, well, these are weird looking door handles. How do I actually get in? So they're not like the Model S's door handles where they present themselves and then you pull it. And they're not like the Model X's handles where, well, it's more so a button where you press. So as you can see here, it's kind of like the Aston Martin, Nissan GTR doors where you kind of pull it out like that. Well, you press in and then it comes out and then you pull on it. It takes literally like 2 times to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's really easy. For the trunk in the back here, it's a manual latch, so it's unlike Model S and X. So there's a little button you just pull, and there you have it. You can also open the rear trunk from the screen inside, as you can see here. And to close it, once again, unlike Model S and X, there is no button to close it automatically, so you just have to pull down on it. Now you might recall from the Model S and X, you could open the front trunk or the Frunk from the key itself, but, well, the Model 3 doesn't really have that key, right? It's a card. So to open the front trunk, the Frunk, you'll have to do it from inside, as you can see here. And then to close the Frunk, you would just want to gently put it down and then put your hands on both sides of the Tesla T and then press firmly. Alright, so once inside the car, you can tell you're greeted by this very big 15-inch horizontal as opposed to the vertical like the Model S and X screen. Now you'll see it is different from the Model S and X, mainly because there isn't a heads-up display or kind of like an instrument gauge cluster in front of the steering wheel, so it's all squished into this one screen. So let's see what the parts of the screen is. So we'll start with the left here. So to the left, you could see kind of the car status. So as you just saw, you could open the front trunk or the rear trunk, as well as the charge port there. Right underneath, you could see 3 little icons. One is the camera that shows up. The other is the lightning bolt, which is the charging status and or how much range you have left, which you can see in percentage or kilometers distance. And the next one here is the voice command, which you could also do on the steering wheel, but here you go. Take me to McDonald's, and then it'll take you to McDonald's. The next little icon you'll see here is the windshield wiper. So of course you could do it from the windshield wiper stock, but if you press on that, you could turn it on and then you could see the different modes. So if you're like in a heavy rainstorm, of course you'll want that. If it's lightly drizzling, you'll want it at 1 or even automatic. You could turn that right back off. Now next up, you might notice there's 3 little dots here. So this indicates that there's menus to the left and right. So if you swipe to the right, you'll see the tire pressure. So it'll say 46 psi, etc. They're just not showing right now because the car isn't on and driving, but usually it'll show the status of all 4 tires. Now from the screen, you could swipe once to the left to go back to the original screen, and then once more to the left if you want to look at your odometer, your trips, and like all the consumption from your drive. Little more information here, so you can see here the range. So here now we have 260 kilometers. You can see in what gear we're in, so park, reverse, neutral, drive, and that's kind of it for when the car is parked. So now I just turn the car on, and if I put my seatbelt here to remove that seatbelt message. So now this is what you'll see when you're driving the car. So now you see here, it's an H, the hill hold, because we pressed the brake all the way in. But you can see here, park, reverse, neutral, drive. You see what the car sees. Of course, we're in a parking garage, so it won't see the lines or the cars or bikes or trucks around. And of course, we're not driving right now, so there isn't any, it's not displaying any speed. But if I were to drive just a little bit here, there we go, 0 kilometers an hour. And of course, it would go all the way up to, 100 or wherever you're going. Now next up, we'll go to the right of the screen here, so disregarding this. And if you disregard this, now it's you'll see similarities between Model S and X. So at the top here, we can lock and unlock the car. We have the time, we have the temperature, and the T here, if you press that, there you go, information of the car. Then you have all your Easter eggs there. We could just quickly, there you go, do fart mode. Very funny. And there you go. Here you can see it's my profile. Oops, there you go. You press it so you could select different profiles, create new profiles, home link, the internet connection, and then the Bluetooth. So if you want to connect your phone, you could do it right there. Now moving down a little, this entire section here is all maps, and it's identical to Model S and X. The Model 3 is very smooth here. Navigate, you navigate to whatever, and it'll navigate you there. To the right here, we could do heading up, north up, or just like displayed. So, it depends what view you like. And just like Model S and X, here to the right, you could check the Google Earth view. There you go, if you want to have a detailed view. This little one is the traffic, so if you want to see the traffic conditions or not. And then the lightning bolt, so if we zoom out here, we could see all these superchargers very faintly there, but those little red dots are the superchargers. But if you click the lightning bolt here, it'll even show the destination chargers. So now all the gray points, there you go, they're all destination chargers. A little further down here is where you'll typically find your music. Now you can put it away, but to get it back, you just tap the music icon right there. And you can have it a little more full screen, if you will. Just like Model S and X once again, but it's a little more rearranged. So you have your favorites, top station, DJ series, genres. And just like Model S and X, you can connect your phone. You've got the radio, streaming, tune in, as well as USB. And you could search any music. If you want to search, I always use this example in the videos because it's just so easy, but if you want to play U2, there you go. Or there's certain songs, albums, artists, podcasts even, etc. I love the music. And so if you're driving and you want to have the music open and, see what's playing and still do next and thumbs up or thumbs down, etc. But you want to see the maps, you would just slide down and it would go right back there. Now for the bottom part of the screen here, you'll see all the way to the right, you have the music, which you can adjust like this, or a little trick is if you just swipe. So there you go, it makes it a little faster. Here we have the window defrosters and heaters that we don't need on a day like today. Right to the right here, you have the heated seats for the passenger, which you could choose between 3 levels, and the one for the driver is right here. And right here we have the air conditioning, or the air climate, I should say. Now to get in all the settings of the air climate, you would want to tap on this little fan here. At the top here, we have keep climate on, so climate will turn off after you leave the car. If you want that off, on, or even dog mode, if you have a dog in the car. A little further down here, we have the air conditioning on or off. We have the fan speed that you could adjust there. There we go. We have the recirculating here. This is very interesting, new to the Model 3. You could direct where the air flows. So you can see the X and Y axis here. So you see it's kind of split into two or bunch it into one. It's really cool. Works really well as well. To the left here, you could turn the air completely off. You could set the direction. So you see, like for example, here I have it towards my feet only, so you can't see the display here because it's not coming from the central air blade. However, if we would turn that on, now we could adjust it once again. And to the left here, we have the heated seats. So, you know, we could adjust them all here. There you go. And then you could turn them all off. Of course, on a day like today with 24 degrees, I don't think we need heated seats. And the three last ones here to the left, well, I kind of just showed the music one, so you could tap that to tap the music or to make it appear, and then once again you could have it kind of full screen or not, make it disappear, etc. But this here is kind of the app section, similar to the Model S and X. So you would press that, and there you go. So we have the calendar, which if you have your phone hooked up, you would see your calendar. We have the energy, so the energy consumption in the past 10, 25, or 50 kilometers, which you could also adjust from instant range to average range. There we go. Next up is web, so the internet, so you still can't watch any videos, although I think there might be a software update when you're supercharging or parked, you can watch videos, but as of right now, as of filming the video, you can't watch any videos, but you can search the weather or, you know, do little quick searches like that. Next up here, the camera. You can have this on while driving, but as you could tell, unlike the Model S and X, you can't really see the navigation at the same time. Although you can see, I think, music and camera at the same time. Well, if we close that, there you go. So you can see the music and the camera at the same time, and you can drive like this, but it's just you won't be seeing your map. So, you know, it's go by case. Next up here, we have charging. There you go, which is the exact same menu as this. And then we have the phone, or ahoy hoy, it's a little Easter egg there. If you connect your phone, you could, you know, make phone calls from this menu. All right, and the last little menu here is the little Model 3 icon, and this is your settings. So they bunched a whole bunch up. I don't know if you remember from the old software from Model S and X, but it used to be settings and controls, or controls and settings, or what one. But now it's all into this central column, and Model S and X are like this now as well. So top left here, it's quick controls. So we have exterior lights, auto, you know, you could adjust those, front fog lights, mirrors and steering wheel. This is where you adjust them, which I will show a little later on in the video, but it's here. You could fold them, you could lock all the windows, and you could have the display brightness on automatic or adjust the way you want it. Little further down here, lights, we have the exterior headlights once again, but we also have the dome lights that you could turn on. They're kind of faint, but yeah, they work. We have the ambient lights here that you could turn on or off, and then as well as a couple options here: auto high beam, headlights on after exit, or steering wheel lights. The one right after that is locks, so you could do window locks, child lock, unlock on park, lock confirmation sound, which is the little honk that you heard earlier, as well as lock away door lock. The next one here, display, so you could do day mode, night mode, or automatic. So in this case it is, well, just about 12:30, so it's day. Adjust the brightness, screen clean mode, so you could do that, and then I'll just do it here. There you go, and then you could clean the screen, press and hold to exit. There we go, because fingerprints isn't a good look. Now display, this will be important for our French clients. So if you want the car in French, you would do it here. So you'd go Français Canadien, and then you would have to do a little restart of the car. It just takes a minute. If you are traveling through the States, this would be particularly of importance, because if you would want miles instead of kilometers, and then you could see here, okay, we have 259, but if we go in energy, that's 52%. So you could adjust all that little, you know, degree, etc. right there. Next up is driving. So you have acceleration, chill, and standard. Steering mode, comfort, standard, sport. Sport is more hard. Comfort is easier to maneuver. Standard's in the middle. Regenerative braking, standard is what the Tesla standard is. If you go low, it kind of mimics a gas car, so it's more of a coasting when you let go of the accelerator. But of course, keep it on standard. You gotta. And then there's creep mode and slip start. Creep mode, once again, it kind of emulates a gas car where when you let go of the brake, it slowly, creeps forward at like 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers per hour, whatever it is. Autopilot here, you have a couple options. So you have the auto steer, navigate on autopilot. Summon this speed limit warning. There you go. A couple options here for autopilot. Navigation, if you're doing like a cross-country road trip and you want to avoid ferries, avoid tolls, or avoid HOV lanes, you could do those. And yeah, safety security service, that's not very important. And then to open the glove box, it's right there. Now onto the steering wheel. So in the middle, there's the horn, of course. I'm not going to honk it because I'm in a parking garage and that's going to be loud. And to the left here, it's to control all your music. So you have the volume up or down. If you kind of take the wheel or the ball and kind of push it towards the Tesla T, it would be next song in the back. And then if you press it, it's to pause. Unpress it, play. To the right here, if you hold it, it would be the voice command. So take me to McDonald's. I used that example earlier, but I'll use it again. And then if you kind of toggle back and forth, it's to adjust the distance between yourself and cars for adaptive cruise control and the autopilot. Now this might be a little surprising, but to adjust the mirrors as well as the steering wheel, well, you use the steering wheel. So here in settings, you would go to the very top control, quick controls, and then for example, you would choose mirrors, and then there's left, right, the mirrors auto tilt and mirrors auto fold, but then you would use the left little ball here, and you would forward, backwards, right, left, etc., and you would adjust your mirrors like that. And then to go to the right one, same deal, up, down, right, left. Easy as that. And to adjust the steering wheel, same process. You would go to controls, quick controls, and tap on steering wheel. And now you would see the little message that pops up that says in, out, up, down. So then if you press, if you go up, if you go down, in, out. There you go. Staying on the theme of adjusting things, you could adjust your seat right to your left here if you're on the driver's side, and then if you're on the passenger side, it'll be right to your right. So you can see there's kind of like an L-shaped as well as a circle. Of course, they represent what the seat is. So the bottom part of the L would be what you're sitting on, and the top part of the L is what your back is resting on. And the circle is for lumbar support, so you can't really see what's going on right now, but my back is being adjusted right now. Now to put the car into drive, there's an extra step you have to take as opposed to the Model S and X. So if you try to put your foot on the brake and go all the way down, you'll see that you have to tap the key card right by the cup holders there. So you would take the key card, tap it, there we are. So then you would just go all the way down, drive, and you can start driving away. So to use autopilot, once you're driving and once it's safe to do so, you would pull down twice on the stalk here on this lever. Now, of course, there's no little steering wheel here, so autopilot is currently unavailable. I mean, we're in a parking garage. But just for demonstration purposes, we go down twice. Auto steer, temporary unavailable. Cruise control, not available. So it's once down for cruise control, twice down for autopilot. And this stalk works exactly the same as the Model S and X. So all the way up for reverse, all the way down for drive. The little button here is park, and then like half up for neutral. Now the turn signal in the Model 3 is a little different. So if you push outwards, it's to have the automatic high beams, and if you push outwards, once again, it's to turn them off. If you pull in inwards, it's just to do a high beam flash, so it's not always on. But this is where it gets a little different. So if you want to turn left, you would go naturally all the way down, right? But it goes back up to neutral. But as you can tell, the indicator is still on. So to turn it off, of course, you would turn the corner, or to turn it off if you're just in straight traffic, you would go half down or half up. The same is for if you're turning right, so all the way up for right. Once again, it goes into the neutral position, but then you would go either half down or half up to cancel. And of course, if you want a temporary signal to the right, you would just go half up. And if you want a temporary signal to the left, it would be half down. So now you've made it in the car, you've driven, you've used Autopilot, you've accelerated a whole bunch, but now how do you get out? Well, if you're on the left side of the car, of course, there'll be a handle and it's right by your thumb. There's a little button here. You press and it's an electronic release and then you open the door. In terms of storage, the Model 3 has actually quite a bit. So in all 4 doors, there is a little bit of a storage area. You can maybe fit like a water bottle, maybe your cell phone, but no laptop by any means. In the center console here, you can see there's kind of 2 sections, 2 little bins that you could store some stuff in. There's also 2 cup holders here. And of course, there is the trunk in the front, the Frunk, which is not huge by any means, but you could definitely put some groceries in there, maybe a little duffel bag. It's pretty useful. And then in the back, you have plenty of room here. Of course, it goes down as well. And then you could also fold the seats down. Alright, so that's the end of the video. I hope I answered some of your questions, maybe even clarified some things. And it's worth noting that, so this is the software as of May 2019, so it might just be that when you're driving the car, the entire car will be different from the video you just saw. So if that's the case, be sure to contact us. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But so yeah, on that note, we'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching, everyone.